Am I the a-hole for excusing myself from family dinner after being served a visibly disgusting dairy-free alternative? I am 39 a.m. on a Christmas holiday with wife's F36 family. I have a dairy allergy, which means I can't eat butter, milk, yogurt or cheese. Everyone in the family knows this, especially my mother-in-law who is in charge of cooking. First 2 nights for dinner we had raclette. If you don't know what that is, it's basically you chop up your own vegetables and fry them on a little stand, then you add cheese which you then grill on the same stand. Raclette is literally just fried chopped vegetables and potatoes unless you have the cheese, and furthermore, it takes about an hour to grill enough to feel full. Okay though, I made it through that. I just had extra nuts and chocolate. It's Christmas after all. So on day 3 we were to have a more substantial meal with mashed potato, except mother-in-law forgot me and put butter and milk in. And instead of telling me and saying sorry, she assigned this guy, wife's sister's partner, who is known as extremely unreliable, depressed, who also happened to be very ill and not someone you'd want macking your foot at all, to make a dairy-free mash. He boiled some potatoes and blended them, making a watery potato-only soup consistency broth, and this was served on the table in a saucepan with the rest of the meal that I could have. I asked for a bowl and poured out a portion of the potatoes, and then offered it round to others. No one wanted any, including the guy who made it, and this was the point in which I just had enough, and got serious angry, inside. So I made an excuse about having promised to call my mum and picked up the remaining meal and bowl of watery potatoes, and left to another room where I called my mum, and I poured it down the toilet, and just ate bread until I was full. Wife came in absolutely fuming, telling me I'd hurt the guy's feelings, and that it was so rude to leave the dinner table. I laid my cards on the table. Why have I not been thought of for every single meal? I'm never asked what I want, and it's not hard to make things dairy-free, or to buy some extra stuff, etc. etc. Wife says I should just suck it up, and that the guy made an effort. I replied that he is not a kid. If I made something that atrocious, I would not expect anyone to eat it like he was a child whose feelings I shouldn't hurt. I'm now in the doghouse. Apparently no one bought my needing to call my mum story. Am I the a-hole here? Edit. I forgot to mention they all barely speak English, as we are in France. My wife is half French. This goes some of the way perhaps to me not being involved in meal discussions. It's not really possible for me to cook my own food in this situation. It's hard to explain, but mother-in-law and that side of the family are the cooks, and we don't really get input, and we offer to help and are turned down. Mother-in-law has known me for 5 years and knows about the intolerance. She's just forgetting me, which is okay, it happens. I basically got mad because they served me something basically inedible and acted like nothing was wrong, rather than just saying sorry and getting me bread. A lot of people want to know what else there was. We had a portion of fried pork, and there was a saucepan of cabbage. No bread, so without the potatoes the meal was just pork and cabbage. It's a cow's milk intolerance, meaning lactose doesn't work. Lots of people are still saying I should fix my own meals or go to the shops and get my own supplies. This is not really a polite thing in this situation, otherwise I would 100% do that. You have to trust me on this one that it was not an option, and that more offense would be caused if I offered to do that. Reading the balance, it's quite a mixture. I think I handled the situation poorly, but I don't know what the correct plan of action would be without having to A. publicly reject eating it, this offending mother-in-law, and the other guy, or B. pretend to like it, and potentially be forced to eat an entire pan of it. I would have taken B if potentially any of the others at the table had decided to try it, but it just felt humiliating, as everyone could see how bad it was, and it would be obvious that I was faking enjoyment. I think if I had better social skills I could have maybe joked my way through perhaps it wouldn't have been humiliating to fake enjoyment, and I could have just raised my eyebrows at everyone to let them know I was just being polite. Final update. We just had breakfast. I apologized for leaving the table and doubled down on my mum phone call excuse. I'd promised a certain time yada yada, and said it was nothing to do with the meal. The guy apologized for messing up the potatoes. I said they were fine, and that I was sorry he thought I left the table because of that. Everyone seemed satisfied, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows the real reason I left. I will play some chess with the guy later to mend things further with him.